pictures in Photoshop for lining out the assets, which I then took into After Effects to do the spinning and primary shapes in Premiere that I added. Now for the second offering, that is a play that was done in InDesign. And finally, Cryptids Within. That is the original podcast that I recently created, a production of Anthology Poets Theatre. If you listen to the podcast at the end, it tells you how to participate. This is IshKlein, and I am the host of the show Cryptids Within, where we talk to the imaginary animals inside certain people. We are coming to you from Kalamazoo, Michigan, in the beautiful Middle West. Today, who am I speaking to?
My name's Randolph.
So, Randolph said something very interesting to me last night. You want to tell the audience what you told me, Randolph?
I never eat vegetables.
Okay, now do you remember yesterday when you told me that there was someone living inside you?
Oh yeah, that I do, I remember.
What kind of being is living inside you?
A Florida skunk ape.
Am I speaking to the Florida skunk ape now?
No!
Are they talking today? What's that smell? The Florida skunk ape interview part 2. We had a little bit of a glitch there, and that was a great opportunity for me to play a little bit of the Chris Kelsey 4, which is modern bebop. That was called Femulate the World. That interval, what happened was that Randolph had kind of an episode. I said, "How are you liking the weather?" And he did not respond. I asked, "Do you not feel the weather?" And he did not respond. "Is the Florida skunk ape in you now?" And he did not respond. And then I don't know if it was Randolph or if it was the Florida skunk ape. They let out a piercing yell. What happened to me was that I got very anxious and certain things happened. We all took a break. Eventually, the Florida skunk ape or whoever came back. I said, "How come you're talking now?" And he said, "Because he's got a doingus and he's not doingusing his motory mouth." And then I said, "Let's put a pin in this and meet again when we can talk like normal people." So, Florida, home of the skunk ape. I read on Wikipedia that in 1977, Florida legislators were going to pass some sort of law that said you couldn't shoot a Florida skunk ape. But that was later revealed to be another piece of what they considered a hoax. Many people consider the Florida skunk ape a hoax. They look like a yeti and they smell like a skunk. But we weren't able to talk to one directly today. And I'm sorry about that. But tune in next week where we'll speak to a lake monster. And thank you for tuning in now. Here's another thing. cryptidswithin@gmail.com. You got a question? Are you inhabited by an imaginary being? Well, why not just send an email and I could interview you? Okay. That was done on Adobe Audition software. I got the jazz riffs from Pixabay, and the Femulate the World track is from archive.org. My contact info is in there somewhere, and I hope you have a fantastic break.